Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel, Angie B Crafts. Thank you so much for joining me. So today's little video is going to be in relation to using Brushos crystal colour on a gel press. Now I have never ever done this before. Usually when I do a video I've tried stuff. I haven't tried this, so I'm learning with you. So for those of you that don't know what Brushos are, you can get them in sets as individuals. I think they come in 4s or they come in this 12 pack. I'm not sure if there's other colours as well, but these are the ones that I've got. And when you get them, you'll get a leaflet. And what they are, they're basically powders. And oh, there are more colours, look, there's all those colours. And the powders, when you spritz them with water, break up into all the components, but the powders, when you mix them with water, can come through as one colour of paint. So it's basically the breaking down of the different colours that make up paint. So let's take yellow. Okay, now each of mine, they come in a little tub like this, and the lid comes off. I'm doing it very carefully, and there's a powder inside. Okay, but I've pierced each of my lids just with this pin, and the reason for that is so that I don't have to keep taking the lid off. So when I want to use my Brushos, I just pop the pin out and that hole's big enough to release powder. Okay, let me see if I can find a colour. So you wouldn't think that that was emerald green. It looks almost like a yellowy ochre colour, but it comes out as emerald green, and it's because of the component parts. I think scarlet's the one that's, yeah, I mean that's scarlet, and that just looks like mucky brown, possibly a bit like a burnt umber. So the powder's got lots and lots of different colours in it, and when you squirt water on it, it spreads out. So you've got two options. You can either put the powder on first and then put the water on, or put the water on first then put the powder on. So we're going to try, oh my goodness, you can't see where you put it on this. We're going to try just putting the powder on first. So that was yellow. Let's have a little bit of turquoise. Turquoise is always good. Oh, you can see that a bit clearer. So it's almost like shaking out of a salt cellar, and I'm probably putting way too much on here. Let's have a little bit of purple. Okay, we'll leave it at that for now and we'll see what happens. So I'm going to squirt it with water. Okay, so you're starting to see the breaking up of the different colours. You can see there's some blobs here and here and here, but you can't really see the true effect of it. You can do this direct onto the paper. There's no reason not to do this. This is purely for experimentation. You can see we now have lots of different colours. Oh, you can see there because I've run my finger through it. This is the turquoise colour with a little bit of purple mixed in round here. So this is how the colours will come once they've actually joined together in the powder to liquid form. Right, so this is you and me are learning together, because this is entirely new to me. Oh, that's quite good, isn't it? That's rather good. So you can see here we've got loads and loads of different colours. We've got reds and purples and greens and blues and oranges and yellows, and some of it's still the colour you'd expect, but then all the different colours that make it up are coming out as well. Okay, so we've still got quite a lot on there, so I'm going to do a second print and see what happens. So I've not added any more colour. This is just a second print of the same colours. Oh, that looks rather good, doesn't it? That's like a more mottled effect. I really quite like that as a background. Okay, we'll put that to one side, and then I'm going to get my raggy and give a mop up. We'll get rid of this colour around the mat. So this is my gel press without any acrylic paint rubbish all over it, so it has actually been cleaned. On the other side I've been using my Vicky Boutin crayons, so they've kind of left a matte finish, and then I've been doing the pulls with some white paint. But on this side, this is actually clean. They generally aren't yellow, but that's because I use alcohol ink on mine, and it turns it, the yellow alcohol ink turns it yellow. So this time I'm going to spray first. Let's see what happens. Let's have some different colours. Oh, I'm going to go with black. I wouldn't normally use my black, but why not? Probably quite a lot gone on there actually. And a bit of orange. Black and orange. Should have done this for Halloween, shouldn't I? And ultramarine. I always think that sounds like a lovely colour. Okay. Right. So we've got water, we've got powders. I've not done anything else. That's it. And then I'm just going to do a print. Okay, let's see what happens. Oh, that looks really cool. So you can see because of the excess water I am getting a bit of drippage, but that's fine. Look how bright that orange is, and I don't know if you can see it clearly or not. I might have to do it with a camera shot, but there's lots of yellow as well. I love how that's come out. Oh, look there, you've got greens and yellows and blues and reds and oranges and purples all in one area. That's fab. I love it. So we didn't use red at all on that one, but there's a big chunk of red here, and that's going to be some of the colour that's separated out from the black. Right, let's do another pull. Now, next one I'm going to do, I don't know if it's a good plan or not, but I'm going to give it a go. I'm loving these second pulls. That mottled effect is fabulous. Right, we'll give that a mop up. So these are just water based, so they're not going to be difficult to clean up, either off your gel press or off your mat. So what I'm going to do this time, I don't know if this will work at all, but we'll try. Dark brown, emerald green, and I'm just trying to use all the colours, aren't I? Lemon. That lemon looks really bright, doesn't it? Okay, so instead of adding water, I'm going to add some white acrylic paint. This is Liquitex. The only reason this is the one that I'm using is because it's the one that happened to come out of my box. I've got several different brands of white acrylic paint, and I'm never fussed about which one I use. Oh my goodness. Oh, we're getting like a rainbow because it's separating them out. Oh, this is fab. Right, I need a runoff sheet as well. We'll put one of these here and just see what happens. This isn't my best sprayer. It's not got a terribly even surface. You can see it's still left a load on a lot of it, but never mind. What's going to happen when we do a pull? So remember, this is just the very beginning of using these things. This is just how do they react. You can then start introducing your mark making, your stencils, your different layers, and you don't have to layer just your Brushos. You could use a Brusho on the gel press, then you could use an acrylic paint or an alcohol ink or art crayons or something like that. Wow, how cool is that for a background? I love that. I really love that. I'm going to have to do another one of those. I'm going to use the lemon again because I think that's a nice strong colour. I'm going to use quite a lot of it, there we go. And purple. So I'm adding in much more depth of colour this time, and let's have a bit of orange. So orange and lemon and a bit of purple. And then I'm just going to do the paint again. And see what we get this time. I'm just going to see if there's any more wants to come off this because I don't want it to muddy. In fact, I've got another smaller roller here. Let's try this one. Oh, I'm getting excited now. So I'm going to go across the ways as well this time. Oh, this roller is seizing up a little bit. There we go. That's it. So this isn't looking quite as nice on the back of it, but we'll see what comes when we do the pull. Because remember, this is the bit that you're not going to see. What you're going to see is the underneath layer of this. Tell you what, I've got a stencil here. Let's do it with a stencil. So I'm just going to pop the stencil on and then pop my page on to get my print. So when you're using a stencil with your gel press, just remember you need to give enough pressure to actually pick up the pieces in between. Depends on which look you're going for. If you put the stencil on and then take it off, then the stencil's going to lift some of the colour and you're going to be left with a different print. But I'm doing this to get... Oh, that's interesting. I'm not actually as keen on how that one's come out, but I like the stencil. That stencil's really cool. Right, so if I lift this now, we've still got lots left there. So if you're new to gel press, then be prepared to use more paper than you ever thought was imaginable in one sitting, because you just keep pulling more and more and more and more prints. So I haven't added anything else there, I'm just pulling what's left. Oh, that is a really nice background. That is a bit lush, but there's not as much vibrancy, and I'm wondering if it's because this sprayer had been used for something else. So I want to try that again. So I'm just being a little bit mad with the colour. Putting loads on. So it feels a little bit like a dodgy salt shaker, so you don't feel like anything's coming out, but in actual fact quite a lot comes out. So I've probably put way too much on there, but we're not worried about it. A little bit of paint. I'm going to go back to using this one. I'll give it a wipe first actually. Wipe the other bits off. I just don't want to get too much of a mix. So the worst of that's off now, so we're not going to get too much transfer from the previous one. Oh, I'm preferring it already. I think that other brayer was just a bit mucky. So if you over mix, you're going to end up with mud, because it is the different pigments to make the colours. So when you mix them together, you're going to end up with mud. So what I've learned from that is don't over roller, don't over brayer it. I'm just going to do it as another block one and see what we end up with. Let's see if I can pick up a little bit more. Not giving it enough welly, it seems. Sorry, I'm making the camera shake. I apologise. There we go. Oh, that's better. So you can see the different colours coming out more. I think I still prefer this one though. But they've done in exactly the same way, just using different colours. So you can see here you've got the yellow, the orange and the purple, so you can see the different dots of the colour that I've put on. But when you start adding on the white, it starts to mix them. So that's why you get, it almost looks, I don't know if you can see on there, it's like a galaxy effect coming across, like lots of little shooting stars going across your page. I quite like that effect. So in relation to using Brushos on your gel press, my response is, yeah, go for it. I think they're a really cool thing to use, and I've never done that before. Remember that you can just use it, because you're going to be adding a layer of acrylic, just use it the same way as you would when you do any of your other printing. It's a layer, you can cover it if you want to, you can stop. I mean, this is an under the sea background, is brilliant, and that's just with water, that's not using any paint. So that's just putting the and that's just clearing off a little bit. That's just putting the Brushos on and spraying the water, and that looks very under the sea, whereas this one is more galactical or deep sea, I suppose it could be. So there's different ways of using it. Don't forget as well, you get this beautiful mottled effect from a second pull of just using water. Because of the way that the gel press gives up water, you end up with these lovely little globules, and that's just stunning, absolutely stunning. So I hope you found that experiment interesting. If you've got any questions, let me know. Brushos are one of quite a few different types of these products that are around. They're the only ones I own at the minute. I am hoping to get hold of some of the Pretty Gets Gritty ones soon, but for now I'm just using my Brushos, and I do love them. They last for ages unless you spill them, so I would recommend being very careful with them. That's why I've put the pins in, because then I don't have to take the lids off, because the lids do come off, but you need to be careful, and then you have to figure a way of getting the powder out using the end of a paintbrush or a little spoon or a stick or something, whereas if you've got the pin you can just give them a shake. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you have found this interesting. I know I have. Why not follow me and find out when I've got more videos coming out. Some of them are experimental videos, some of them are process videos. I've recently learnt more about editing, so I'm doing some time-lapse videos just so you can see the process start to finish, but in a condensed period of time. If you are interested in any of those videos and you want to know more about the process, please watch the video, drop me a line, let me know. I'm more than happy to go into more depth with them. Have a look at me on Facebook as well, Angie B Cards and Crafts, or on Instagram, Angie Mary B, and see what I get up to. I also do weekly lives in Crafting Together with All Brands on Facebook, and from January 2021 I will be doing lives on Angie B Cards and Crafts Facebook, which is my page. Thank you very much for watching. Bye.